This episode of the Nerf Herder Council is brought to you by Audible. Visit audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download.
Hi, this is Joseph Williams, son of John Williams, and you are watching the Nerf Herder Council.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking Nerf herder!
You can't use that word. Only we can use that word.
You're tuned in to the Nerf Herder Council, your source for Star Wars opinion, conversation, and debate. Featuring your hosts, JT.
Stormtrooper armor deflects everything except Orback hooves. They're like a horse version of Thomas the Tank Engine.
AJ.
Yeah, Rebels is a lot like our show, where we think we have a good idea and then it just fails in execution.
Steve.
The vacuum of space does crazy things to your beehole out there, man.
On this episode of the Nerf Herder Council, we're all about superheroes as we dig into the new trailers for Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Michael Keaton's Batman, The Flash.
This is the Nerf Herder Council.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. We are live at those two locations every other Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click that like button and click that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you are notified every time we go live. We are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. And don't forget, you can get customizable Nerf Herder Council swag at shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. If you'd like to download audio versions of the podcast, just Google Nerf Herder Council Podcast. We are everywhere. All different manner of multiverses. That's where you can find us. And speaking of multiverses, we bring on my esteemed co-host, AJ, who is back from the multiverse of Paris, and short some hair. So
I've been some places, man, and I did some things. I'll tell you what, man. No, it is crazy to look at your phone because it notifies me every time I enter a new country and have 4 notifications in 1 week. The problem is then I don't know where the hell or when the hell I am. So, it kind of ties into the trailers that we're going to be talking about here because, yeah, time is an illusion, and lunchtime doubly so. There you go. Why have we never taught Hitchhiker's Guide on this show? We need to do some of that sometime.
I would be more than willing to do that. It would make me reread the book. I haven't read it in years, but I remember it well enough that we could probably do it right now and just wing it, So yeah, sip a couple Pangalactic Gargle Blasters and off we go.
I think I brought some of that back from France with me, actually. They do not fuck around with their liquor over there. It's strong or nothing at all. Like, if you're going to get them off of wine, they're going to make damn sure they're, doing it right.
All right.
I had a stuff that's just called Elixir, and it's rather than saying percentage or proof, they call it degrees. But a degree is a percent. It is 67 degrees, so it's almost like 151 strength, and it's like super herbal, and it's actually meant to settle your stomach at the end of a meal. It's incredible.
Does it work? Does it settle your stomach, or is it like rot gut?
It does. It's the craziest thing. Like, as strong as it is, you'd think it would just kick your ass, but instead it's just this nice little thing. It just warms you right down the gullet, and then it just disappears politely. Nice. It's very French like that.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, I know when you were texting me back and forth, you were saying, oh, we had a drink at this meal, a drink at this meal, a drink at this meal. It's like, wow, those Frenchies know how to party.
You wouldn't get along with the menu very well, but you would get along with the custom that you begin the dinner with a drink and you end the dinner with a drink. And in between, you have a drink with your dinner. It's pretty good.
That's probably why they don't have a big history of alcoholism like we do over here.
Right?
They're actually used to it.
And there's always a cheese course.
Ooh, God.
So yeah, I'm good with that.
Wow. Okay. Well, so that was your Quantumania, but back here in the States, it'll eventually be worldwide. But we're going to be talking about the Quantumania, as well as some other trailers that have hit recently. And then we did want to get into some Bad Batch because, you know, we now have 9 episodes. I actually watched the 9th episode before we logged in here. There's our good buddy Kale McLeish tuning in. What's up, Kale? Good to see you, man. Says morning, gents. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Hope you're getting fired up for that Megadeth show. Yeah, so we're going to talk about some trailers that have landed recently, and there's multiple for these first couple movies, and then a single one that dropped during the Super Bowl for the third one. But obviously, as you can tell from our background, those of you who are listening to this on audio, it's just beautiful, beautiful podcasting to say, as you can tell from our background. But anyway, we kind of wanted to touch on Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania first. I think I speak for both of us, and well, you know, I was just about to say that we're most excited about this one, but I don't know. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, so I don't know which one I'm more excited for, but we're going to start with this one anyway.
Okay. So I wanted to start with a question for you because you have been a huge, what's the opposite of proponent? Opponent, I guess,
yes.
of the whole multiverse thing. You say it robs everything of its stakes, and this is really where they're planting their flag and saying, "All right, we're diving in head first with this stuff." Yeah. So, how are you feeling about this before we discuss the trailer itself?
I like Marvel movies, so I'm gonna see it. I especially like Ant-Man. I love Paul Rudd, so pretty much anything he does, I'm cool with. You know, I really like the character. I love the humor of the Ant-Man movies, so I'm into it. I'm a little nervous because I know this is like, you know, Kang is in this and he's supposed to be like the big baddie. He's like the new Thanos, only worse supposedly. So, I mean, I don't know how you get worse, but okay. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to watch it. I honestly think that I'm going to be watching these new Marvel movies just out of sheer fun while hating the extended storyline. You know, it's okay. It's just it's dumb. Oh, it's worse than Thanos, and billions of different things can happen because it's like, oh, shut up. Like, that's just so cheap. Just show me a shitload of cool stuff in 3D and let's go. You know, it's like graphic artists is jerking off all over for 2.5 hours. Like, I'm fine with it. Let's just do it. I don't care what the story is. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're living in a world of Pixar movies now anyway, right? We just gushed over The Way of Water. And, you know, that had almost no real elements in it whatsoever. It was all CG and every Marvel movie is increasingly the same way. So yeah, to even call this a live action movie is a real stretch at this point, I think.
I know. Yeah.
But,
no, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they're looking good and, you know, we'll get into this here and let you talk, but yeah, I'm very short answer. I'm excited for it. I am fully expecting not to enjoy the story at all, but it is what it is. And I'll just go because I like Marvel because it's not crappy DC, which we'll get to in a few minutes here. But, you know, so, what is your take? Are you excited for this? You know, where do you stand?
I'm excited for it because this is, we've already been told that basically Kang is, like you said, the new Thanos, right? So we know he's the big bad that's going to be like sticking with these movies through the end of the next 2 Avengers films. So this is our first chance to really get a look at him. So for that reason, because I mean, you didn't even watch all of the Phase 4 stuff, did you? Because there was a ton of it, like all the Disney Plus shows and yeah.
No.
And I was like, I did watch them all. Well, I think I watched them all. There's a lot, but I couldn't figure out like, where is this going? Like, what is a common theme? It seemed like they were just like throwing a bunch of stuff out there that did not connect at all.
That's what I'm having a problem with. I've watched a little bit of it, so I'm familiar with what you're talking about, but
yeah, but like, so I feel like this is the first movie where we can actually start to focus the storyline into one cohesive narrative instead of just like here's the She-Hulk series over here, and then here's Ms. Marvel over here, and we're going to do an animated series about alternate timelines, and and let's do Werewolf by Night or whatever that thing was, and just like weird stuff that like had nothing to do with each other. And I'm like, okay, how is this building to a big threat? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that apparently the Loki series was the big deal that everyone should have been paying attention to. Have you seen that yet, by the way?
Drop myself out there specifically to say no, I have not. So that was not good. But
well, that's the soft intro to Kang, so you might want to give that a try.
Okay.
And there's going to be a second season of it coming soon, so it's very important. It's very crucial.
It's very crucial. Cal McLeish. I love how the Ant-Man titles have just gotten longer each time. Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. What's the next one going to be? Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania Horrifica? Yeah, it is kind of turning into like a Rob Zombie song title, isn't it?
And they keep adding, and they add a new hero every time. Now you got Scott Lang's daughter. I forget what she's called. So I guess the next one will have to be Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I don't know, the Yellow Jacket or the Hornet or whatever.
Hey, look, it's Shane O'Mac, man.
And the Wasp and the Hornet and the Caterpillar, and you just keep going with it, right?
It's like having an Avengers movie, but calling it Captain America and Iron Man and Black Widow and Hulk and Thor and Ant-Man. Like, God damn. Our buddy Shane O'Mac's tuning in. He says, "What's up, Drake Brothers? Good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in, Shane-O. Hope the show
good to see you too, Shane.
Shane had a concert last week. Hope it went well, dude. Sorry I was not able to attend. The titles are kind of silly, like lengthwise, but yeah, I mean, I guess we'll get right into it. What were your thoughts of the trailers that we've seen? I know there's a couple official ones, and they've kind of, and we'll get into this with Guardians here in a minute, but they're doing these trailers like from different angles. You know, it seems like here's the funny one, here's the serious one, here's the, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah. So where do you stand in this movie so far?
I really don't know, because Ant-Man started off as this like lighthearted, silly thing. Like you said, it's Paul Rudd. You know, the guy's good at wisecracking and not really like being a big deal. Like that was the whole gag of the first one, was like, oh, he just gets small. Okay, we can have fun with that. Right. And now it's like, holy crap, this dude that you thought was like nothing whatsoever saved everybody in Endgame because he, came out of the quantum tunnel. The rat is the hero of everything, by the way, for triggering the gate to bring him back.
Yeah, true.
So there's that. But then, now, this like do nothing, whatever sort of hero is now fighting like the big bad that's bigger and worse than Thanos. Like, this took a sudden turn. This is getting dark. Yeah. So I'm having a hard time. They're trying to throw like bits of levity in there, but I'm like, so let me get this straight. The fate of every universe hangs in the balance on a guy that gets tiny and big. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
I mean, you would have to assume that it's kind of starting out like Iron Man, like how that was like the smallest stakes. It kind of built. I mean, you have to assume that's what's happening, but yeah, it is kind of interesting. And also introducing Kang right off the bat when he's going to be around for like another 15 movies or something is, like you said, how is this all tying together? I mean, it's
when did we first see Thanos? That was in a Phase 2 movie post-credits scene, right?
Yeah, which one was it? Or was it wasn't it the end of Avengers?
Yeah, it might have. Yeah, I think it was at the end of Avengers, now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Either that or it must have been a Thor movie.
Yeah. Well, Shane O'Mac, to go along with this, ask the question, is anyone else almost overwhelmed and burnt out on all the Marvel movies? Shane, that's a good way of phrasing it, because, it's like we're talking about right now. Like, we don't know where the story's going. And at some point, it's like, how much are you going to care about this, especially if they just seem like they're throwing shit at the wall? At least you knew with the first three phases where it was going. You knew there was not to use a pun, but an Endgame. You know, you knew where the whole thing was going. It was building up to, you know, Thanos and the Infinity Stones and all this. But this one is just like, especially with the whole quantum realm, it's like, okay, well, you can change anything at any time, so why do I give a shit? So you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Shane. So yeah.
The other thing you got to do is get into a whole new cast of characters, which I know that was, you can't strike lightning twice like that. Like we've been through 3 phases of Marvel movies building up to Infinity War and Endgame already. It's an impossible task to try and do it all over again and build the hype when you've got to build a whole new cast of characters. Pivot, obviously, because, you know, unfortunately Chadwick Boseman passed away and Black Panther was going to be pivotal. And yeah, it's just like we're on to, I don't know how many Marvel movies we've had now, like over 25. So it's really hard to give us something to really care about like the first time.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they're going with it. I know Kevin Feige has already said that they're going to walk back the quantity and get focused back on the quality again, because he admitted that there was just too much stuff going out in phase 4, too many TV shows, too many movies, and it burned everybody out. Well, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And I'm a perfect example of that. It's like, you know, I didn't get through all of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I love Captain America based stuff, and, you know, and then Loki came out and I was like, well, I haven't finished this one. Like, you know, I got through WandaVision, but I was like, what the hell's the point of this? I mean, WandaVision was just stupid. So, I mean, and then She-Hulk, like, what the hell is that? And then there's I'm like, Moon Knight. I'm like, what is all this? Why do I give a shit? Like, all the characters I gave a shit about were already in Avengers. Like, now that they still look great. And again, I'll probably go. But I mean, case in point, I still haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder or Black Panther 2, because I'm just like, okay, what is my hook here? Like, I love the movies, but it's like they're starting to get into these characters that were popular for people that really dig into the comic books. So those people would know Miss Marvel and She-Hulk and all this other stuff and these like, you know, B-level stories. But for people like me, I'm like, I don't care about the Eternals and all that crap. Like, who the hell is, I don't care.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, Kale says it. He says, and having too much of it meant it felt completely aimless. You know, and Shane,
solid point.
Yeah. Shane says they just print money right now. So from a business standpoint, it makes sense. But from a viewer fan perspective, it's like watching a circus of toddlers on Mountain Dew. It's also true. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, back to the original conversation. I mean, I'm excited to see it because I like Ant-Man. And I'm hoping it's going to go somewhere. Like, I enjoyed Doctor Strange too, but like we talked about on the show, it's basically, it's just an effects dump. And from the trailers I've seen of Quantumania, it looks like the same thing. It's just how much
they're spending all the time in the quantum realm.
Yeah. So it's like, how much shit can you put on the screen? Like, at some point it's going to get old. You know, I've seen all the, you know, acid trip crap. Like, okay, well, let's do something different here. You know, that was one of the reasons why I loved Captain America so much, because there wasn't any. He just had it was a super soldier. That's all it was. He had super soldier serum. He's set in a real world, and he can kick ass more than other people. So all this quantum realm stuff and the multiverse with the weird, I'm like, okay, like, Christ's sake, you know, it gets repetitive. So that being said, I'm excited to see it because I really like the characters. You know.
Yeah, it's weird to say that a super soldier was more grounded than this, but it was. At least it was just one guy with superpowers in a city. You know, it was something. Yeah. It was something relatable. And you're right. The farther and farther they get away from that, the harder it is to invest in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not. It's not interesting. I don't think. Again, the quantum realm, or not the quantum realm, the multiverse thing, just totally kills it for me. Because I don't have to worry about any of this. Like, if they kill everybody, you know, like what, it doesn't matter, because I'm thinking, okay, well, they're gonna just bring them back in another. Oh, it's a different version. You know, that's why when you've got Kang right now, you know, I read, and I don't think they should have printed this, but it sounded like a spoiler. It said basically like they need Kang to get back to the real world. And I'm going, okay, so the ultimate bad guy is going to help them get back to like our universe. So he's going to be around the whole time. Like, so they could kill him 18 times over and it's not going to matter. So, I mean, I think that's what does it for me is that why am I supposed to give a shit? When you can just change it, who cares?
It's weird how like everything kind of, I know people are inspired by other things that are going on, and that's why we had like the whole zombie craze, and you know, then DC tried to rip off Marvel because superhero movies were all the rage and everything. But it seems like the multiverse is absolutely like the zeitgeist right now. Like you got Rick and Morty, which I know you haven't seen Rick and Morty, but like that's the whole thing is he's got a portal gun. They can hop dimensions and universes whenever they want. And that's kind of one of the points is like, how badly does that mess with your head when you can just jump into another reality, whatever you feel like, and all the crazy stuff that when you know that any possible scenario is happening somewhere in the multiverse, how much does that blow your brain?
Yeah.
And you got this going on. We'll talk about the Flash trailer later, which is another multiverse spanning sort of thing. Like, yeah, can we cut it with the multiverses, please? There's enough of this stuff going on already.
Right.
But I unfortunately, we've just got to see it through because this is the plan for like the next like 5 or 6 years of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or not, you're getting it.
Yep. Kale.
But the real thing we need to talk about with this Quantumania trailer, though, I have real beef with Hope Van Dyne. That haircut is terrible.
That's what you're going to complain
right there,
about?
It's right there in our background. Evangeline Lilly should never have chopped her hair like that. That looks god-awful.
I'm not a fan, but it's not my main concern about the movie. I'll be thrilled if I come out of the movie and that's the worst thing I have to say about it.
Right?
What'd you think? Evangeline Lilly's haircut sucked, but the rest was amazing. That'd be pretty damn good, you know? So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just didn't fit in the helmet or something, but good God.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So. No. Okay. So actual honest thoughts on the trailer. I want to see what the tone is like because, you know, they're good at like, they're good at keeping even like the heavy stuff light enough to be palatable. Like Endgame or Infinity War should have been an absolutely unwatchable movie because the heroes just get their asses kicked from one end to the other in that movie.
Yeah.
And it was still fun. I still like watching it. So I think Marvel can balance it out and get the tone right, but we'll just see. We'll just see how all the different characters play into it. You know, we get to see Scott Lang's daughter, so that'll be interesting to see what she adds to it. I saw that MODOK is in this. Are you familiar with? I got to call up an image of this guy. He is absolutely ridiculous. He's in the trailer too. He basically has a giant head. Is that the light bulb for a head guy? Or is that I don't know the Marvel explanation of why he looks the way he does. But yeah, let me open this up here. I'm going to share myself a tab.
Okay.
And we are going to look at MODOK. Like I said, he's a dude with a giant head, and I don't know exactly how he got it. But yeah, so imagine his body is the same size as Kang's there in the front, but that's the size of his head.
No, wait, whoa. This is like a real size, like Kang is normal size, and this guy behind him, that's how big his head is?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean it's in the comics like that too. So they're not inventing this for the movie, but they're really stretching what is plausible. Oh, here's a better look. Here's a better look. I'll share this one here for you. So yeah, and his head is so big he has to float around in a chair because his body can't support him.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. So get ready.
You've got to be kidding me right now. Yeah. Kale nailed it. Oh, come on. Oh my God.
I mean, they're absolutely pushing what audiences will put up with.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just. Yep, Joseph Friend. Where's he at when we need him? Run the sound effect. Oh God. Yeah, that's not. See, I just don't give a shit about that. Like, if I was a huge fan of the comics, I'd be like, okay, this is awesome. I know these people. It's cool. Like, nah, not. It's not for me. So I mean, I'll watch it, but we'll see.
Now, being the third movie, this is usually when they start to cycle the heroes out, right? Like Captain America was needed for Infinity War. We're going to guess that Ant-Man is probably safe, right? Because he's going to stick around for the next Avengers movies too. But don't you get the feeling with the size of the cast? Now we've got like Hank Pym and
Mrs. Pym.
Yeah, Mrs. Pym. I don't know. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Scott's daughter and Hope Van Dyne. Like, I feel like someone's dying in this movie. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that kind of leads into an opinion I have about the next trailer we're going to talk about. But I mean, maybe that's the thing. Maybe this is like that's the new hook, is that more of them die along the way instead of just, we wait till the very end and, oh God, these people, you've seen them in 15 movies. Now they're dead and you feel really bad. Like maybe they die earlier or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be like one of the inciting incidents, like Kang shows up and then just like wipe somebody out and they're like, oh crap. Okay. Now we've got stakes. Now we know that this guy's a threat.
Make it the daughter. Just go as dark as possible.
Oh God. After like Scott's been gone for most of her life, between like, being in the quantum realm and being in prison, and then like, yeah, we're finally reunited and you're dead.
They get stuck in the quantum realm. He's like, oh, this sucks. She's like, where are you? This is the quantum realm. And then all of a sudden, like, something just goes through her head and she just like explodes. But even then, it wouldn't matter. Cause you'd be like, yeah, she's coming back. He's crying.
I was going to say,
like,
you're already in the quantum realm. Just fork off into another dimension and get yourself another daughter.
Get yourself another daughter, like you're going to Home Depot or something. I need a screen door.
That's the thing. Like, you're right. Like the whole multiverse and time travel thing kind of undermines the stakes, because, he comes out of the quantum realm 5 years later in Endgame, and he's like, oh my God, I've missed so much time with her. We'll just jump right the hell back in the quantum realm and go back to 5 years ago and, talk to her then. Hang out with her all you want, and then just jump back to present day. No big deal.
Right.
Yeah, it's really hard to have stakes like this. You're right. So, but it does come out this Friday, and we're going to see it in the coming weeks. So we'll do some sort of review of it on the show here eventually.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's ahead of the summer blockbusters, so we'll see how that works out.
There's only one summer blockbuster that matters this year anyway, so let's be honest.
No, Top Gun came out last year.
If you ever disparage Indiana Jones like that again, you are going to be in for a conversation you're not going to like.
Hey, my time clock was still on Eastern time when I was over in France, so I did jump in and hear some of your Crystal Skull discussion. And you, sir, are an apologist.
I'm not an apologist at all. That movie kicks ass. Fuck you.
Yeah, and Dave Mustaine is still a good vocalist.
He is not. What the hell have you been listening to?
Well, that's my point. That's exactly my point.
I can't believe you just called me.
You already did your Crystal Skull episode, and I purposely bailed on the Crystal Skull episode so I wouldn't have to, trash Harrison Ford. But man, oh man, it's good that I wasn't on that episode.
All right, let's do it. I am not an apologist for Crystal Skull, so there's our new background. How dare you say I'm an apologist? That movie rules. All right, so anyway, you're wrong. Moving on to our second trailer that we wanted to discuss.
Yes, this is in the summer blockbuster season, which is the segue I was trying to get to. But,
sorry.
You squashed that, so it's fine.
Ah, well, Look at it. Kale, up yours. Kale says Crystal Skull is not a good film. And when I said I'm not an apologist, he says, yes, you are. Well, what the hell do you know? You're going to come back from Megadeth and tell me that Dave Mustaine can still sing like my idiot brother over there when he can't.
That was my point, is that he can't.
Well, your point was missed. Now let's get to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This one I am excited to watch.
Okay,
and
now let's start with some background. Did you watch the holiday special?
That I did watch.
Okay, so you are caught up on Guardians.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Kind of pointless, but whatever. It was fun. Kevin Bacon was
You
funny.
found out that Mantis is Star-Lord's sister. It's kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, okay. That's okay. It's a thing. Again, to me, that's another one of those multiverse things. He's the son of a planet. Okay. So the woman with the bug antenna, like, is suddenly a sister. Oh, what a stretch. I mean,
Okay, wait a minute. You cannot roll your eyes at that when in the very first movie we were introduced to a talking raccoon and a tree.
Yeah, but that's more believable.
You were on board with that.
That's more believable than a planet as a dad. Like, who's his grandpa? A freaking a whole galaxy? Well, what the hell is that?
I don't even know how to compare the realism of a living talking tree or a raccoon compared to a planet as a parent. I mean, they're both pretty damn stupid ideas.
Okay, but if you're going to see
it's Guardians, and they made it work.
They did make it work. But if you're talking realism, at least a tree could fuck somebody. How's a planet going to fuck somebody? They'll just smush them dead.
Oh God, the splinters! Oh no! I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, I didn't think that one through.
Why did you go right to because he can fuck? He's a more plausible thing. Besides, the planet took the form of Kurt Russell, and 1970s Kurt Russell fucks. That feathered hair, come on! He had the Trans Am going. I mean, I damn near got pregnant watching that.
Doesn't Russell fuck sound like an insult? You Russell fucks.
Yeah,
it totally does. All right. So anyway,
point.
Anyways, back on track. Yeah. So I'll let you start with this one. I'm a huge Guardians fan. So where are you at with Guardians 3?
I'm still not really clear on what the hell's going on based on this trailer. For a trailer this long, I really didn't get a sense of who the villain was or what the plot was. I know we got Adam Warlock coming back as a problem for the Guardians from Guardians 2. Gold guy.
Yeah.
Gold guy.
Nice reference.
So we got him, but there's some other big bad that's not him, I guess, in this movie. So God only knows, man. It's weird to have like a 2.5-3 minute trailer and then come away from it going like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, and there's multiple trailers, and I've seen all of them, and I can't figure it out. I know that, like, again, the multiverse thing. Oh God, Gamora's back. So of course, yeah, that was, good that we got all sad from her dying. But other than that, it's each of the trailers has kind of like a different vibe. That's what I was talking about, earlier. There's one where, Star-Lord is most certainly scream crying over somebody. So something's happening to someone somewhere in this one. So that, and obviously the humor is going to be there. But again, you're right. This one, at least from the trailers, has a dark vibe to it too. There's the whole finality thing, and I'm excited to see it because I just think like the Guardians are silly enough to where if it gets goofy, that's fine. Again, I just hope it doesn't lean on that damn multiverse crap again, which I have a bad feeling all of the movies are like. And I know it sounds stupid to say that because it's the whole point of the whole, phase 5 or whatever the hell we're in. But it'd be nice if all of them weren't like, oh, quantum realm, multiverse. Like, oh god damn it, we're gonna do it every movie. That said, it looks like a Guardians movie, so I just hope it doesn't turn out to be a Hangover 3. You know, where like the first two were really funny and kind of upbeat, and then the third one you're like, okay, there's some laughs, but ugh, like it's pretty dark. You know, dead guy in a pool and everything. Like,
yeah. So I think this movie wins hands down right away because there's an otter in it.
Yes.
Rocket, and I think Lily is the otter's name. But hey, there's a friggin' otter. I'm sold. I'm good. That's all I need.
Nice.
You know, ever since we were kids and those damn popsicles, you know, the blue otter
pops.
pop.
Yep, Otter Pops.
The guy with the blue one wearing the beret and stuff. I was like, all right, I'm sold. I like otters.
You're stuck on French.
You make
stuff
me a
right
good
now.
popsicle, I'm yours for life. That's the way it works. But yeah, so I don't know if this is a spoiler or not because it's been officially revealed as merchandise. There are 3 Lego sets coming out supporting this movie, and one of them has Rocket and Baby Rocket in it. Now, I don't know if this is like a time jumping thing where like it's him at a younger age, or if there's legit like he has a kid, or whoever experimented to create him in the first place is doing it again with another raccoon.
Well,
so
I mean, did you see that? Did you see? So I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you see the trailer where it shows the raccoon going under surgery?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wasn't sure if that was a flashback or present day or what that was going on. Oh, Kale, stepping in here. Says, oh, they revealed this is a Funko Pop too. Okay, so yeah, so the Baby Rocket is a thing.
Yeah, Kale, did they call it Baby Rocket or just, you know, mutant raccoon or something? Like, does it specify what character it is? That'd be interesting.
Yeah. But, you know, Guardians is always, all the movies have been about family, right? And there's a line even in this, like I think Peter Quill said something like, you know, we were all people searching for our families until we found each other, that kind of thing. So the whole, if it is like a new Baby Rocket or something, I think that makes perfect sense. And it kind of like cycles back around, you know, like in the first one, Groot sacrificed himself and, you know, that little twig grew up to be the current Groot. So we kind of had like the reset on that. So maybe, man, I hate to say it, if Rocket gets it in this one and Baby Rocket is like his, you know, his through line or something, it would suck, but it would work. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, again, that's that whole, there's no stakes to anything. There's just, I mean, if that's, oh, well, you know, someone's going to die and so this is going to happen. Oh, well, here's the baby one. Or, you know, I mean, if it's strictly like baby him, like from a multiverse or just a recreate something. All right. Yep. Kale says it confirmed. Baby Rocket in the Pop Funko. Okay. So why is there a second version of Rocket Raccoon in the movie? Damn this multiverse. This is. See, I shouldn't pay attention.
I took it as a flashback. I didn't think it was, you know, a new character.
I don't trust them. They're all going to die, and then their baby selves are going to come out at the end. It's like, oh, Christ. It's just going to be a total reboot. Like I said, I'm more
Guardian
excited.
Babies.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be like Muppet Babies, but Guardians of the Galaxy instead.
Right. Nice. Oh my God. Oh,
is June Cleaver still alive? Can we get her to be the nanny?
Yeah, exactly.
Only shoot her from the knees down.
Perfect. Look, Kale says, ending spoiler. Rocket plus Lily equals Baby Rocket. So basically, Baby Rocket is not full raccoon. He's half raccoon and half otter.
Yeah, boy, that'd be weird.
He's a mutt.
I don't know what the hell that would come. Yeah.
That's what
that raises so many questions.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, back to the trailers themselves. Yeah, I am excited to see it. It's Guardians, and it does seem to have the humor to it. And, you know, I don't think you can serious up Drax to the point where he's not enjoyable anymore. And I think they've leaned on the humor so much at this point that, I mean, I just can't see them sapping that out of this one. I mean, it's what they are. And I mean, now if they manage to do that, I'm going to lose all faith in whatever they're doing going forward, because if you just can't, I mean, you know what you're getting when you go to a Guardians movie, at least tonally.
Yeah.
And if they completely crap on that, I'm just going to be like, no. I don't like where you're going.
Yeah,
That
and
said,
I love that they had to relent and get James Gunn back, because first of all, those tweets were so old. Why it's causing a problem now? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
we've both said some stuff back in the day. Thank God social media wasn't a thing, because man, our asses would be nailed to the wall, and it's just because it wasn't offensive at the time.
Speak for yourself. I never posted anything like that. But
no,
you're not
never
wrong.
posted anything like that. But things that we've laughed at because they weren't non-PC at the time.
Oh yeah, no, those are still funny. I was just smart enough not to post it online,
right? Right, like Bill and Ted jokes, for example.
Oh God, yeah. It's a lot of things that you watch. You're like, man, oh man, I can't believe they got away with this. But yeah, I mean, when that all came out, I was like, good Lord, they were like what, like 15 years old or something, and this was like 5-6 years ago or something crazy. It's that cancel culture thing, dude. And you know, I thought it was cool that the actor stood up and said, look, you know, this is not. You know, it doesn't represent him. It's in the past. Like, this is crap. Like, we want him back. So I thought,
I love that Batista went to bat and was like, if you want Drax, you got to get James Gunn back.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah, you do have that kind of sway.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, speaking of how old the tweets are, did you know that this is the first Guardians movie since 2017? Part 2 came out 6 years ago.
That's crazy.
I saw that today,
but
and
weren't they like already in development, and then they fired him, so it like just sat on a shelf?
Yeah, it took a while because of that. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm glad they saw it through. Clearly, this is going to be the last one. I mean, the guy's now running DC, so
yeah,
I don't think he's going to be working for Marvel anymore after this one.
No,
but
especially after getting shit canned. I'm sure he can't wait to run to the negotiating table to do more for them.
Right.
He basically like had to be crowbarred back into doing it. Look at Kale. You said some things. I said some things. Let's just say we're both wrong and make a movie with a sentient tree or some shit.
Yeah.
Nice. So are you excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
I am. I mean, the first one was such a surprise. The second one, not as much, but still a great movie. So even if I don't know what the hell's going on, it's a Guardians movie. You know, it's going to be fun, and it's going to have some weird stuff in it. So I'm all about it. I'm good with it.
Okay.
Besides, I think one thing that's going to be hilarious is watching Peter try to win Gamora over again.
Yeah, I've seen some footage of that, and it's like, did you see the one where like he ends up kind of hitting on Nebula instead? That's a good one.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
That's just friggin' weird.
Do you know what's really weird to me is that Nebula is the same woman that's in the Jumanji movies, like the redhead.
Isn't that crazy?
I try and see her behind the makeup, and I just can't.
No.
It's like I normally can tell from like the facial structure and stuff, but even that, like the makeup just covers her up so well in the Marvel films, and it's like, wow, I can't believe that's the same person. Yeah,
I also wonder what the height of these actors are, because she is tall, and she doesn't look it in these parts, but she's like 5'10" or something.
Let's see, Karen Gillan. How tall?
5'11".
All right, good for you. She's taller than me.
IMDb says 5'11". Holy crap!
That's crazy. God, like looking at these pictures, it just doesn't look like her. Mm-hmm. Oh well.
That's a good actress, though. That's a good actor when they disappear into the role, as they say.
All right, so what are you trying to bring up on the screen
I hate
here,
when someone's like so likable that, or so recognizable that you can't see the character, because like when Sam Jackson plays anybody, you're like, well, that's just Sam Jackson. Like Mace Windu is the same as Nick Fury, is the same as the guy in Pulp Fiction, you know, and so on and so on and so on. Like you can't unsee it. I feel like Chris Pratt, kind of the same at this point, even in voice roles. Like once you know what Chris Pratt sounds like, you're like, okay, I hear it in Lego Movie. I hear it in the voice of Mario in that movie coming up. Owen Grady in Jurassic World is just Star-Lord in Marvel. Like,
right.
Not a lot of range on the guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
all right.
Yeah, for Karen Gillan to be like Nebula and also be the redhead in Jumanji, I'm like, wow, good on you.
All right, Kale, you said nope. Kale says
the thing I was going to share is this Lego set where it shows Baby Rocket and Rocket in the same set. So I guess they exist at the same time.
And they drive a Constructicon.
Yeah, basically.
All right, we got to ask Kale this. Kale says, nope, not the same. Are you saying Karen Gillan is not the same actress that plays both parts? Kale, you're going to have to qualify that statement. But yeah, so I mean, so you've seen all the different trailers and like TV spots and stuff for Guardians 3, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'm wrong that they are really trying to like really throw you off of the scent of what's really happening, because each of these trailers is like a different tone, and there's, like you said, like who the hell's the bad guy? Like what are they doing? So
that's a good point. That's also a good reason to get excited too. Like the less they tell you about in the trailer, that means the more stuff they're trying to hide, which means important and shocking stuff is going to take place. It's a good segue into the other James Gunn-ish related thing that we're going to talk about third, because that trailer seemed to go on forever and have scene after scene after scene after scene. I'm like, oh my God, are you just like putting the whole movie here in the trailer?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to Guardians 3. I think it's going to be a good time. And I am looking forward to getting back to the pace where we don't have trailers for the next Marvel movie airing before the previous Marvel movie has come out.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of like, well, huh? It gets really confusing. I'm completely with you on that.
You can see why Solo tanked a little bit on box office expectations when you had Solo ads running while Last Jedi was still doing its lead-in. You know,
right? Exactly.
The same thing. Like, am I supposed to be hyped for Ant-Man, or what's this Guardians thing coming out? Like, which one's next? Who? What?
Yeah. Well, you teased a James Gunn-esque thing that we were going to talk about third. I don't know if we're going to get to Bad Batch. We're too busy talking about the. Busy. We might have to revisit Bad Batch on the next episode. All right, so here we go. Let's just get right to it, I suppose. The Flash, the first trailer debuted during the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And this is definitely going to be an interesting one.
The long troubled production is finally happening. Yeah. You know, this thing started in 2014, right?
That long ago?
That's how long this thing has been in development. Yeah. That all the DC shakeups and all the crap with Ezra Miller. Yeah. This thing has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
It's like when you get a video game that gets hung up in development hell and then it gets punted to the next console, basically. Like it's so old, they just like kill it. They're like, you know what, we can't even use this code anymore because, you know, this is a PS3 game and now we've got a PS4.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where like this is coming out just in time for James Gunn to reboot everything.
Yep.
I'm like, so it's good that they have a movie that talks about multiverses, because they're going to need a way to give everybody the axe. And here it is. It's the Flash.
When I saw that multiverse thing, I was like, are you shitting me right now? Like, you can't be serious, DC. Like, you can't be serious with this.
This is, again, one that they're pulling straight from the comics, though. This was a huge arc in DC Comics. They did this thing called Flashpoint a few years ago, where the Flash broke the universe and had all these, multiverses clashing and doing everything. So they're not making it up out of nowhere, but we get some cool visuals from it and everything. I mean, you saw the trailer. What do you think?
I mean, it looks cool. I just, as soon as they brought in the whole alternate universe thing, I was just sitting there like, okay, did they already have this idea when it was in development, like starting like 2014 or whatever? Or did they just pivot to that as like, okay, we can't beat Marvel, so we're just going to try and do exactly what they're doing, just go head to head instead of side by side? Like, because that just took me out of it. I already don't like the DC stuff. And now if they're going to do a multiverse too, I really don't want to see it. Because it's just it's crappy movies with a crappy concept. Why would I do that?
Do you think this is kind of the problem with the whole superhero hype, though? In general, is in comic books, characters can live forever, and you can tell as many stories as you want. But in reality, you have actors that get old and contracts that expire or get too expensive to keep bringing the actors back again. And you have to have some way to either shelve the character or recast. So DC's done it too much, but at this point, it's about 10 years on from the start of this whole experiment. So what do you do with the Henry Cavills and the Christian Bales and Jason Momoas and all these people that are 10 years older when in universe they're not supposed to be?
I mean, Marvel got away with it. You had Tony Stark for how many years? So you had Captain America for how many years? You had Black. I mean, they had them for that long. They're just telling crappy stories, and we've said this many times on the show. They keep trying to go against Marvel and say, "Well, Marvel is bright and colorful, and this we're going to go dark and brutal." But people don't want to see that shit. Even Batman. Like you look at like the Jack Nicholson Batman movie. Like, is it dark and brooding? Yeah. But it's also got a lot of really bright ass color to it. I mean, it's a juxtaposition. Whereas the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, like as great as people say they were, one of them was, it was like stark and dreary the whole time. I'm like, God damn it. That's not what I want to see a superhero do. Like, that's like watching a war movie. That's like watching Saving Private Ryan. But I paid to see that when I went to see Saving Private Ryan. When I go to see Batman, I don't want to see nothing but depressing crap. I mean, like this Flash thing. I mean, it looks cool and the effects are interesting, and I'm sure there'll be the humor in there because he's running around with his other self and all that kind of stuff. And, but the multiverse thing, and then here comes Zod. Okay, I guess that's a cool plot device, but I never watched Man of Steel, so I don't know if he's like an awesome villain and people are excited. I may go see this strictly because Michael Keaton is back. That's the only reason why. And so that's a nostalgia thing for me. I mean that Batman came out of what, 89? So you're talking about a movie I was 13 years old. It'll be 34 years ago for me that I saw that Michael Keaton Batman. I'm like, okay, I'll go see him again. But the rest of it, I'll be like, get off the screen. Just have Batman go around and start kicking ass. There's your multiverse. Here's your multiverse, DC. Just destroy everything except for the Michael Keaton Batman line. Blow everything else up and just have Michael Keaton Batman movies, and let's move the fuck on. There's your multiverse.
Yeah, I don't know how DC could get it any more wrong than they have. They inverted the Marvel formula in the first place, like you said. It went epic instead of funny. So that got unsustainable because it's like, well, you're in for a 3-hour movie. I hope you like drama because that's all you're getting. Right. And then you get crap like Justice League. So they jumped right into the Avengers without setting up all the solo movies first. They're like, here's a Superman movie and here's a Batman thing and Justice League. There we go. Let's give you everybody else on the team in one movie. So let's do that backwards. Then when people shit on that movie, let's let it sit for a couple of years and then put it back out again in a different cut. So now you get confused as to which version even counts or matters in the first place.
Yeah.
And then let's splinter things further by having a Joker movie that doesn't tie into any of it. Let's have a Suicide Squad movie that is and is not erased by the follow-up, because it seems like it's a follow-up but also a replacement at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, and then you go and have all these TV shows that end up being better received than the unconnected movies that you're putting out. So while they're dealing with all this crap with Ezra Miller for the movie version of Flash, you've got Grant Gustin playing the CW Flash for like 9 years or whatever the hell that show's been running, and people love it. And the thing that pissed them off most about the Justice League movie was that the TV guy didn't get to play the Flash.
Yeah.
So you take the only stuff you're doing right and you shit on it in favor of all this crap that you've been screwing up and people don't like. And then finally, they have just finally conceded and been like, you know what? The guy who did Guardians of the Galaxy, he made one movie for us that was popular, so let's put him in charge.
Yeah. You get everything. Here's the keys.
Like, Jesus. Yeah. So like, I'm interested to know like what this movie turns out to be, because it seems like its main mission now is just to get all the old DC crap out of the way so they can try to start listening to their fan base and put out something that people want to watch.
Well, they're behind the 8 ball. I mean, at this point, they're going to have to start over, I think, because, you know, Wonder Woman might have been a good start because everyone was all about that first Wonder Woman movie. And then the second one was apparently warmed over garbage. So they just couldn't, you know, repeat that. Look at Kale. So Crystal Skull is great, but the Nolan Batman films aren't.
Dude, he is trolling you hard.
That is 100% accurate, Kale. Batman Begins. The Dark Knight Rises. Nah. The Dark Knight, awesome. But no, the other two Batman movies, no, they're not. They're overrated. They are Chick-fil-A. What Chick-fil-A is to fast food, the Nolan Batman movies are to comic book films.
And don't forget The Batman with Robert Pattinson.
I forget, was that the 34th Batman or the 38th one? I can never keep them straight.
He's from Earth 147, I think.
Oh God. Yeah. Kale's not agreeing, but I don't care. Those Batman movies were not that good.
Yeah, and the one DC movie that was worth a shit, and I know you don't like it or you haven't watched it, is The Joker.
Okay.
Joker is a great movie, but it's not connected to anything. So they did one thing right, and it has no bearing on the rest of the DC universe whatsoever.
Dude, they started great with Superman Returns and then completely shit on it, and I was like, well, then screw this. I've said it before. It's the same reason why I haven't seen not even a single second of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies is because the Tobey Maguire ones were great, and all of a sudden they're like, that doesn't, we're gonna go with this other guy. Piss off. I don't need that crap. So
that's where I'm worried about this Flash movie, because they're trying to do the whole No Way Home / Endgame thing of doing like a victory lap through all the old DC stuff that you've seen before. Except how much of that stuff is really people are really nostalgic for? Like you said, Zod is back from Man of Steel, and I mean he's pretty cool, but does anybody really need a rehash or want to step back into Man of Steel again? Like, I don't.
I mean, that was one of the more popular ones. It was, you know, look, Kale's getting on you now. When you said that the only good DC movie is the Joker, he said, no, it's not. Joker was boring. Look, see,
okay, Kale, Kale's just being a contrarian at this point.
Yeah, he is. Kale's just trying to piss in both of our Wheaties at the same time.
Right?
He's double.
Whatever it is, I'm against
it. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, back to the trailer. It looks cool. You know, I
buy into the idea that a guy can run so fast that he shatters the universe.
No, but I mean,
I always thought like a well-placed stick or a bug in his eye, and this guy's toast.
That'd be awesome. A gnat kills the Flash. Like, oh, it's like a splinter
we've seen
in a
Indiana
hurricane.
Jones, you know, where they stick the flagpole in the motorcycle wheel and they just get catapulted and they're done for. Like, that's all you got to do with the Flash. Just like make him trip over something. He's done.
That would have been great. That's how they kill him. Like he goes through the movie kicking ass, and all of a sudden they just trip him, and he's dead. Like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's
he just
all it
stubs his
took.
toe, but because he's going like 4,000 miles per hour, his face just like melts off on the pavement in like a mile-long streak.
The freaking the steel bar he trips over, like literally cleaves his feet off, and then he goes forward. Like that's all it took was a metal rod across the ground at foot level to end the Flash.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'll give it a shot because Michael Keaton's in it. I'm same as you, man. Give me that guy and the CG to make that bat suit actually work, because I mean that guy famously, he couldn't look up, down, or sideways. He was a statue in that thing.
Yeah.
So,
but it worked
let's
so
see Batman
well.
kicking ass.
Yeah, give me more of that. Like, and even though he couldn't move it worked amazingly well. So it's like, yeah, I will buy the movie ticket for Michael Keaton. And I really wonder how much of this movie was done previously and how much of it is more recently done. Like, did they throw in Michael Keaton to be like, we have got to do something to put asses in the seats? Like, and so they had to bring back the biggest draw DC has, which is the Michael Keaton Batman. Again, doesn't it feel like they're just ripping off Marvel? Like you said, it's like a Spider-Man. Hey, look, here's all three Spider-Man on the screen. Oh, hey, there's two Flashes. Oh, hey, there's two Batman. Like, here's
I
a
wouldn't be shocked
multiverse.
if
Like,
Jack Nicholson's Joker shows up. Like, let's just go No Way Home all the way through and bring the villains too. Let's just do it all. Why not? Fuck it.
Knowing DC, it's just going to
Danny
be
DeVito's still kicking around. You can get the Penguin back. Obviously, Michelle Pfeiffer's doing stuff, so you get Catwoman.
There you go.
Hell, let's get Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Let's give Batman Forever some love.
Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm back. I'm back. And these like, oh Jesus. Yeah, like, and knowing DC, they would get Nicholson back as the Joker, and he would just come on the screen and go, "This town needs an enema." And that'd be the only thing you see him in the whole damn movie. Just pointless. Like, oh yeah, like less is more. They would just they would Darth Maul him. They would completely
Right.
Darth Maul his ass from Phantom Menace. Like, it's just people are like, oh my God, this sucks. And then they would have They need to get a third Batman, but have it the one with the suit with the nipples. Just if they're gonna screw it up, just bring back everything. Do like Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool, where he goes and finds himself like as Deadpool and kills himself as Green Lantern and stuff. Like, oh my gosh.
See, there's the callback. Maybe we just get the Green Lantern in it. Ryan Reynolds would be down to clown.
Down to clown, nice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, final thoughts. We can jump out of here in a minute, but yeah, I'll see it because it has Michael Keaton in it. But I don't want anything to do with the DC movies. And if this did not have Michael Keaton in it, I wouldn't want to see this either. I mean, it first of all, it's a DC movie, and I don't trust it any further than I can throw it. But also, again, it seems like a Marvel ripoff. And I get it that
Supergirl's not a blonde chick. Does that bother you?
Being completely honest, yeah, I don't like when you change things up like that. It seems kind of silly. It's, I mean, why do you have to change that? That's when people think Supergirl, that's what they think of. So why change it? And they do that. That's my problem. They do that with everything. I mean, anything that was like brightly colored and cool looking has to be dark and shitty, or they just have to like Aquaman. That's not what Aquaman looks like. Stop it. Give me fucking Aquaman. Stop with the here's my I don't want your interpretation. I'm not here to see a tribute band. I'm here to see the band. So enough. Oh, these movies just suck ass. They're so crappy. See, there's some episodes we could do. Let's just finally jump the shark. Let's just watch a DC movie and just spend an episode just annihilating it. We'll be that podcast. Just negative and dumpy and
That's
dreary. Ugh.
That's the only way we're going to get through a DC movie anyways, if we were doing it for a joke. I mean, let's see. Let's run down the roster. What DC movies have we seen? Man of Steel, we've seen, right?
Nope.
You didn't see that one even.
I saw Superman Returns, and then I haven't seen any of them past that. I think I saw like the first 10 minutes of Man of Steel because it was like a free preview thing on like a pay-per-view channel.
Wow. I mean, I haven't seen many, but I've seen more than that. Oh, you saw Wonder Woman, didn't you?
Nope. Not a second.
Oh, you said you talked about that it was good and the second was trash, so I thought maybe you saw that one.
No, I just go with what all the people on social media say. Like I take like a, basically the average of all the opinions, and that's kind of where I Kale, let's do Batman and Robin. I'll try and play defense. You really gonna try and defend that? Wow, God,
George Clooney and Chris.
Not Chris Rob. It's Chris somebody, whatever. Samir not going to work here anymore in that case. Yeah. God,
look, my biggest problem with Batman and Robin was, they gave nipples to the guys' costumes and not to Batgirl. I mean, that's just sexist.
Well, God forbid they make it equal.
Mm-hmm.
Either nipples for all or nipples for none. What was it, Lewis
exactly.
Black? nipples. All guys chilling got nipples. Yeah, I've only seen Superman Returns. Well, no. I saw the 3 Nolan Batman movies. Sorry, I did see those.
So you saw everything that did not count towards any of what they call the DCEU. Then
that is correct.
All right.
That is
all right. And on that note, I think we close up shop.
I know. Yeah. So there we go. We'll just watch those shitty DC movies, and then we'll do episodes about how shitty those DC movies are. We'll be that negative trolling podcast. But hey, whatever. Not like we haven't had negative opinions on the show before, so.
That's right.
All right. Well, we're definitely going to have to change the show description because we got nowhere talking about Bad Batch. But that means we do have a full episode coming up to talk about Bad Batch. Real quick.
Maybe we pair that with the little talk about the season premiere of Mandalorian in 2 weeks.
Nah, I don't feel like doing that. Let's just do Bad Batch. Thanks for asking, though. No, that's pretty good. I'm into that. We'll do a Star Wars.
I'm going to go to France again. You guys find another host.
I don't think it'll be hard to find another host to talk about Star Wars with. Alrighty, so AJ decided to walk off camera, so I'm just gonna remove him from the feed. So anyway, yeah, we can do that. So let me think of the dates here. Hey, isn't our next show date gonna actually be on the night of
March 1st?
All right, well there we go. So we got to watch Mando, and then we'll talk Mando and Bad Batch on the next episode.
All right.
Let's do it.
I got a little show and tell. I want to do a quick shout out, by the way. My buddy Eric is cool, and he just decided to gift me a Funko Pop of Bo-Katan for no reason whatsoever. So I've got, new background.
That's awesome. Well, congrats to Eric for having good taste.
Yeah.
So... All right, well, thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. We are live on Facebook and YouTube every other Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to catch audio replays of the show, just Google Nerf Herder Council. We're pretty much on every audio platform you can think of. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click that like button and click that subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that you are notified every single time we go live. We will be right back here in 2 weeks talking about the first episode of The Mandalorian Season 3 and our thoughts on the Bad Batch so far, which at that point will have been this year 11 episodes of the Bad Batch, so plenty of that to talk about. So going back to our roots, we are going to be talking some serious Star Wars on Wednesday, March 1st at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, I am your host, JT, at Dog Pound Jedi. He is AJ.
At Drake Adams 579.
And we will catch you next time.
bucket of bolts is never gonna get us past that blockade.
This bucket's got a few surprises left in her. Plus, me and Chewie are on it. Ain't that right, Chewie?
Hell yeah, you my nerf herder.
You my nerf herder.